Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm playing a series reason we do for the while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This one's a little bit of a throwaway review. I'm reviewing it because I wanted to drink with two other reviews that I just did. We'll get into that. Anyway, folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm inside the truck. And whilst I'm doing that, folks, you better believe I'm wearing a super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It's my Now It's Dark shirt, which is the name of a local band. They are called Now It's Dark, which I like the name. It's almost a little bit wordy, but I like that it is. Like, it's one of those things where, like, what's the one band? Ice Nine Kills. They might be the best band in the world. I hate their fucking name so much. It just, something about it annoys the piss out of me. And, like, especially during, like, the kind of, like, 2010s in, like, the metal scene, it seemed like there was a lot of bands that were just going with, like, these, like, way too elaborate names, where it's, like, Job for a Cowboy, and I Wrestled a Bear Once. Like, don't get me wrong, I kind of, it's a little bit of fun, but I have to admit, it's like, it's almost a little bit cringe. And mind you, I'm not trying to shit on any of those bands or anything like that. I think at one point I tried to listen to Ice Nine Kills, and it wasn't really my thing, but I don't know, maybe I'll give them another shot. I always, when it comes to music stuff, clearly I'm a big fan, and I'm always like, even stuff that I know I'm not gonna like, chances are, like, in a couple of years' time, I'll be like, maybe I'll like it now. But what I do like right now is Now It's Dark. Like I said, they're a local band out of Illinois. They have been around, I guess, less than a year, but they actually managed to put out a full album and everything. I got to see these folks perform live. They were one of the opening bands for a band called A Killer's Confession. They were on tour. I actually have videos of almost every band from that show, including Now It's Dark, just in case you're interested. You can also hit me up. I can point you in the right direction for their stuff. I think they're very neat. But anyway, what am I reviewing for you folks? What are we doing here today? Why is it a throwaway review? Well, because I just got through reviewing a couple sandwiches from Boom Wingstop. I did their brand new maple sriracha and their lemon pepper. I did a couple of sandwiches. Go watch those videos. And I knew I wanted a drink, so I was like, I'll order a drink. What drink did I order, folks? Well, it's a giant old thing. It's Boom! It's simply fruit punch. Ooh, it's not trying to do anything else but be fruit punch, folks. Look at it. It's yeah. So I like the Simply drinks. I get the Simply orange juice periodically. If I'm feeling a little bit fancy. If I'm not, I just get like the 7-Eleven brand stuff. But I don't do their fruit punch very often, which is kind of weird because I like Simply and I love fruit punch. So I figured, what the fuck? Like, it's not like it's a crazy review, but it's like, plus I got a giant jug of it, which I had to make sure to ask for. Because I did my order online, I came in to pick it up. They're like, here's your sandwiches, and I was like, and my drink, please. And they're like, oh, yeah. Anyway, it's all natural, delicious taste, all that good stuff. Let's give it a go. I don't think I need to do that for this, but I will. Got a nice fruit punch taste. Not the strongest fruit punch smell, I'm sorry, but, it's there. Okay. I like it. I don't love it. So, like, for me, again, like, I love fucking fruit punch, man. As a kid, and this is a real thing, like, I would drink juice so much as a kid. I hardly ever drank milk. And in order for my dad to go over there and get me to drink milk, he went over there and he just told me, like, he's like, oh no, it's juice, but it's just white colored because this, that, and you're a little kid, so you're an idiot, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's how he got me to drink more milk. And I love milk. Milk is delicious, but I love juice. Thing is, especially when it comes to fruit punch, I have a very specific kind of flavor profile that I'm looking for, and I want a certain punchiness to it. Now, the flavor profile is there. It's hitting the highs, it's hitting the lows. It's a decent enough fruit punch. And the nice thing with Simply stuff is that you can tell that, I'm not saying it isn't processed or anything like that, but it does have a little bit more of like a quote unquote like a natural kind of taste to it. Whereas with some of the other ones, some of the old standbys that I cannot think of the name of for the life of me right now, they're definitely more processed and stuff. But I mean, it's, it's one of those weird things where it's like, because I did grow up with the processed stuff, I'm used to the processed stuff. So that's kind of where my head goes. I like this. It's nice, it's light, it's refreshing. It's got hints of sweet and hints of tanginess to it. So you got a little bit of contrasting flavors. You folks know I love contrasting flavors. It's doing what a fruit punch should do. But again, just because I am so used to that old style stuff where it's processed to all hell, I'm missing the punchiness of it. There's a tanginess, but there's not a punchiness to the flavor. It does taste just lighter. Like if this came out as the light version of the more processed stuff, why can't I think of the name? Like Minute Maid and stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking of. If this came out as like the light version, or the diet version of that stuff, I'd kind of believe it. And that's not to say it's lacking in flavor. It just doesn't quite have that same oomph of flavor that the more, and I keep saying more processed stuff like I have any idea, how this shit is processed and everything. But just go with me on it, right? Okay, I'm not trying to give you industry secrets. I'm just yammering on in my truck. But yeah, it's still good. Like, it still tastes good. It's still very identifiably a fruit punch. I don't have any huge issues with it. I do wish that it had that extra oomph, But it's good. And the thing is, I think that's part of the reason why maybe I haven't had the fruit punch very much. Like, I've had it before for sure, but it's not a go-to by any means. When I get the Simply stuff, usually I do the orange juice. And I like that because it tastes like a really solid orange juice. Like, it tastes very orangey and very orange juicy. It's good. Whereas I think with this one, it still tastes good, but it doesn't have that same oomph compared to some of the other fruit punch stuff. But it's good. 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Sure and sure. It's never going to be a go-to fruit punch for me. Ever. But I don't dislike it. Like, at all. Like, it's not bad. I'm certainly going to drink the rest out of it, enjoy it while I'm doing so. But yeah, it doesn't quite have that taste, that full level of taste that I'm looking for. It's just, and again, maybe, it's just that it's what I'm used to, what I'm expecting versus what it is. If I'm recommending it to other people, I'm not going to go over there and say it's more healthy than the other stuff or anything, because I'm not in a position to say that. But I will say, I think, if you're like me and you probably grew up with that older style stuff, maybe you have similar feelings. But I think that if you're kind of maybe a little bit younger, maybe you're more used to stuff being a little bit less processed, hopefully, yeah, it might be for you. But ultimately, it's not bad, but I don't think it's their best product. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. You go over there, have yourselves a truly fruit punch-tastic rest of your life. Because fruit punch is really good. This is a good fruit punch. Again, it's hard to fuck up a fruit punch. It's been done. It has absolutely been done. But it's typically pretty difficult. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you can do, folks. You can try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live and I'm out there with you in it. You know, when I get home, I gotta go over there. I gotta fucking clean stuff up and stuff, and then I eventually gotta go over there and take a shower. I meant to do it before I started doing reviews, but it just wasn't gonna happen. The light was dying, and I was like, I gotta get this out of the way. But it's important when we run into situations in our life that are stressful, frustrating, etc. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you have a favorite fruit punch from back in them. Remember when you could go, I don't know, maybe they still sell it this way. Remember when you go over there and you get yourself some fruit punch, if you're around my age, and it would come in that giant metal can, and you had to actually get a can opener to go over there and pop it so you could go over there and pour it. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's probably just a nostalgia factor, but it's like, as soon as I think about that, and I remember that, when I was a little kid, it's like, oh man, it just warms me up, just watching like Saturday morning cartoons, hanging out with my mom and everything, watching GoBots and stuff. Warm and fuzzy. Probably rose-colored glasses, to be fair, but, But maybe you have some sort of like old-timey drink that's probably not the best. Maybe it's Ovaltine. Ovaltine's like 1,000 years old. Maybe I'll review some Ovaltine sometime. Make up some Ovaltine. I haven't had Ovaltine in fucking forever. I had a stepmom who liked Ovaltine, so she would keep some kind of sequestered away. But eventually I found some, and so I started going over there and using it periodically. And she got mad at me, but she was a gambling addict bitch. So, yeah. And mind you, if you do have problems with gambling or any other type of addiction, please go out and seek help and, take care of yourself. And don't be a, terrible, tremendous bitch about the whole damn thing and go over there and fucking basically ruin the lives of the other fucking people in your life. Can you tell I'm still a little bit salty about that? It's one of those things, I mean, a little bit of a personal thing here. It's one of those things where it's like, part of me wants to be the bigger person and go over there and be like, look, she was dealing with things in her life, and, this, and mind you, I haven't seen her in fucking years and years and years. She's way, way out of my life. Part of me wants to go over there and, but then the other part of me is like, for all the fucking hell that she put us through, man. For all the fucking nonsense, man. Hard for me to be the bigger person. But we should always strive to be the bigger person when we can. Sometimes we can't. And that's okay too. Bye.